one bad thing leads to another. Just after I've got over the actual the chicken crumble catastrophe, then within about half an hour, one of the chicks has escaped my impregnable fortress somehow. I've decided to call that chook Colditz. Obviously it's an escapologist. Now this could ruin my plans as a survivalist, but a true survivalist will always overcome. So I've opened the chook house to let the chooks wander about, putting my vegetable garden at enormous peril, I know, but I couldn't be bothered chasing around a little chick to catch it, and I let them out have a bit of a scratch. I've just got to watch my dog because I've put a chook bucket full of food in the actual little composting bin right down the back, which I don't know whether you can see from here. But he's gone down to scavenge the food as well. He doesn't normally bother the chooks, but he's not all that familiar with the chicks. I don't know whether that's going to change his attitude, whether he'll have a go at them at some stage. That's my little Jack Russell cross buddy there, looking very sheepish over there. He thinks I'm going to tell him off, I reckon, if we get into that food. But a couple of little chicks have already come out. Well, actually 3 of them have come out, and the other ones are still hanging around inside. So I don't know whether some of them just seem to be more confident than the others. I suppose that's something to do with a pecking order or whatever. But anyway, that's our chook bucket is just a bucket we keep inside, or a container we keep inside, where we put our food scraps in. No doubt you people would have heard tell of them before. It's actually quite interesting. I've done all this sort of stuff a lot over the years, but actually making a mobile phone video of all this stuff I find fascinating. It's probably boring the living shit out of you guys, but it's actually quite fun. I think I've got an innate showmanship about me. I probably miss my performing days with the guitar and the band and stuff like that, and I just need a bit of attention. But look at that chook and that bloody dog. The chook's looking around to grab something. The dog's looking sheepish. I don't think he'll have a go at him. The chooks have been out like a long time ago. They used to get out occasionally, mainly before I put those veggie garden beds in. I'd like to have them actually free range, but I've got to work out a way that I can do that without them destroying the veggie garden. I don't know that I want to put a big fence up around the whole thing. I'd like to, and just keep them in this food forest. That's a fig tree, believe it or not. That's an olive. Over the back there's a quince, and there's that's rhubarb there. But that's just down here, that thing there that looks like a dead thing is actually a pomegranate. It's the same as this is a pomegranate. I had those great ideas about having a food forest. There's another fig over there that a tractor ran over when I was digging this hole. Thought you'd like to know that. And I've got a few little areas prepared, or partly prepared, to grow some things like apple trees, maybe a walnut tree, that type of thing. My wife and I are discussing that at the moment. All very fascinating stuff. But yeah, getting back to the chooks, I even thought about maybe getting an electric fence so I could just put them in certain areas of the garden down the back here. We are going to put a fence, a farm fence like those ones over there. We're going to put a farm fence across from the shed right across to the other side of the property there, and enclose it to some degree. But I mean, these chooks will fly over that, so I'll have to think of some arrangement. I don't know about having a permanent yard. I probably will stick with a permanent yard, just sticking with my idea of using leaf mulch and stuff, and maybe even shredded paper for bedding in the shed, in the actual chook yard. Anyway, I mentioned in another video that the chooks can kick it over and poo in it and turn it into some sort of compostable material that I can stick into boxes like this to turn into a good rich compost to plant my vegetables and etc. in. Anyway, it's all very exciting, but just as I said before, if you think survivalism is easy, just bear in mind your chick feed containers can be knocked over and have native birds. Probably I can't see any at the moment, but there's it's probably magpie. I reckon Australian magpie, black and white bird. I don't know whether you can see it. There's a nest up there in a tree over there, but I don't think you can see it. I can see it with the naked eye, but I don't know whether the camera picks it up. It's sort of slightly to the that there's like a zigzag of leaves going down there. Well, in that middle zigzag, there's a nest in the middle of that, but I don't know whether you can. Well, actually, a little bit lower than that, but I don't know whether you can actually see it slightly to the right of that second tier. But yeah. Anyway, as I said, survivalism. You have to put up with a lot of things, you know. I mean, you just never know when your chook's going to escape. Bloody hard gig it is.